Did you see that shit? MMA podcast. Hosted by mixed martial arts journalist Mike Strauss, aka Strauss.21, and Chicago's number one underground comedian, Apollo Taj Mahal.
Thank you for listening. I am Mike Strauss, aka Strauss21.
And I'm Apollo Taj Mahal. And you are listening to the
Did You See That Shit Mixed Martial Arts Podcast. We appreciate all of the smart guys. Keep it up, whether it is on Twitter or Facebook, Instagram. It's all the same. DYSTSP. Put a little underscore in between there. Look for orange smiley face, poop in his eyes. That is us. You can also find us at didyousee-that-shit.com. If you want to get more personal, email me, Mike, at didyousee-that-shit.com, or give us a call, 708-669-4777.
Also, you can listen to the full podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, pretty much all your favorite podcasting platforms. Give us a like and subscribe on YouTube at Missing Time Productions. And enjoy this interview.
We know you will. I want to welcome the one and only Jake Smith. He's a fan of mixed martial arts as well as a pretty badass fighter himself. He's 7-2, currently in Bellator. He just knocked out Steve Cazzola, and he's calling out a Bellator fighter, it looks like I saw.
Yeah, man. We're in the works of trying to get this Dillon Danis fight set up. So, we're seeing what happens here with him.
What is it about Danis that makes you want to fight him?
What isn't there about him,
Yeah.
Look, I don't know the guy personally. Like, I don't know what he's like, at the gym or whatever. He could be a cool dude. But from what I do know about him, he's a nut swinger on Conor McGregor, and he's trying to beat Conor. And I'll be honest, I'm in Bellator. I'm not in the UFC. I don't want fucking Conor. I don't even want Danis. I don't want any of these guys around. I want guys who actually fight, who come and show up to fight, who don't just run their mouth. And that, you know what I mean? Like, shut up or fucking fight, dude.
So what would you say the likelihood of this fight getting done is?
I think it's pretty likely. From what I know, we're looking around fall. So it's one of those things. Like I wasn't, the way that fighting kind of works, things are kind of done behind the scenes,
mm-hmm.
and promotions don't really like it when you kind of spoil the day.
Absolutely.
But, I was in this position. I was like, you know what, fuck it. I don't want him to have a chance to weasel out. So that's why I dropped that tweet. And now the ball's in his court. Now he has to, he has to answer.
You seem like the worst possible matchup for Dillon Danis. His striking is not good, and you knock people
terrible.
out.
Yeah, no, he's awful. He can't wrestle. You saw that. Every shot he did was from fucking, 3 feet away.
Yeah.
He's basically acting like he has a baby toddler as his measuring stick, and then he's shooting. Everyone knows that's the first rule of wrestling is you got to be in distance where your hands can touch. So he's diving, he's desperate against this guy who, I feel bad for because he was set up to lose.
Oh yeah.
But he came, he tried, but Danis, he was afraid. He was getting tagged up, and then not even fuck the fight, right? He won the fight. Everyone knew that was gonna happen. His post Mike speech, like, what is he? He's the fakest dude I've seen on TV. How can anyone buy anything he says?
Did you happen to see who he called out on Twitter after the fight?
No, I don't follow him. Who, Ben Askren?
Yeah. Yep, Ben Askren.
Yeah, I saw him say that. Yeah, he's fucking full of shit, man. This guy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think Conor's writing his lines for him. He's got to be.
I think he's picking out his outfits, honestly. Like when he showed up in that jumpsuit.
Right?
Ugh.
Yeah.
I know that Bellator, Scott Coker, they're trying to get on the East Coast for later in this year. Hopefully, this fight can maybe come together around that time because I know Danis has said he'd like to fight again in New York. Hopefully, it all comes together around that time. Man, I'd love to see you fight Danis. I just think that you bring. Obviously, he's only fought one mixed martial arts fight, but you bring a whole new dynamic to the game. You can talk a good game, but you also can back that game up.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Like, Danis is legit when it comes to jits. Like, I am not going to take that away from the guy. I will never, I'll never discredit him from that. Mm. What he has done and accomplished, with his tournaments or whatever, that's cute. It's awesome. But, fighting it's very different, and, he can pull guard all he wants, but I'm not an idiot who's just going to sit there and play in it. Like, that's not going to work. I can wrestle. My background is wrestling. My main training partner is Chell, so that's all I fucking do is get dry humped by him. So I'm going to be doing that.
What did you think of Chael's post-fight confrontation with Fedor?
It's classic Chell. First, what he likes to do is, shit on the town he's in.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, and then, you know, I mean, it's going to be interesting because Fedor doesn't talk. So what's he going to do? I mean, he was able to have a conversation with a shoe. So, I mean, Chel's a master. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, that part of it's going to be fun because I don't think Fedor is really, you know, he's very respectful, he's stoic, and he's never really fought anybody like Chael. So I want to see how that goes.
I wonder if Chael can get under his skin, actually. Like, I'm curious about that.
I doubt it, but Chael is the best at it, so that's for sure. So you mentioned Chael. I know one of your former, I don't know if he was a training partner, but a gentleman you grew up with, Ricky Simone, made his UFC debut recently. What did you think of that?
Yeah, actually, I just got done hanging out with Ricky yesterday. Cool. I think Ricky is the biggest piece of shit I've ever met. He is a giant scumbag. And, you know, we ended our friendship yesterday. So.
Well, you're being facetious, of course.
Oh, yeah. But no, like, yeah, me and him were giving each other a hard time yesterday. And, you know, he thought it would be real cute to act like he was famous in his household around all of our friends, and he's offering me autographs. So I'm team fucking Marab or whatever his name is. I'm with that guy now. He got robbed.
Yeah, what did you think of that whole thing, man?
Was that?
What did you think of it? The whole way that fight ended?
You know, hey man, that's my buddy. He got to win. I'm happy as shit for him, honestly. It's a weird rule. It's one of those things where I guess it's an Atlantic City thing because, like, I know when, like, normally in fights and stuff, they tell you the rules or whatever, but they've never say you're saved by the bell or you're not saved by the bell, you know. So that's never been you know, really disclosed. From what I know, like, I've talked to Chel behind the scenes and stuff about it too. He was saying that I think it's Atlantic City rule or New Jersey rule where you cannot be saved by the bell, regardless of boxing or MMA or anything. So yeah, Ricky, you know, choked the dude out. Well, the dude was out like 3 different times.
Yeah,
I don't know how he didn't die.
Yeah, I was very scared. I was saying, I'm like, man, when should a ref like go in?
The guy was like convulsing, basically.
Yeah, that's what I thought his legs were doing because they were paddling. They looked like they were kind of like shocking up.
Couldn't that be considered a tap out too? Because like we've seen, what's his name, Tim Elliott. He had to use his feet once to tap out.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but the guy was putting his thumbs up. I think that's where the issue is. I
don't have a problem with the decision. I think ultimately the right thing happened. I do believe that Merab went out at least one time. Okay,
he definitely went out.
I think he knocked himself out, honestly.
And I think, man, what lost in all this, man, is your friend. And hell of a fucking debut, you know, Simone, because no one's talking about what a fucking great comeback that was.
It was.
Yeah, that was definitely one of those fights where I was screaming at the TV because I was like, Ricky, you're not fighting like yourself right now. Yeah. He was too caught up, you know, watching him, you know, and Ricky's usually the aggressor, the one with more movement, and this guy came out a little bit more, you know, a little bit more fancy than him, and I think that kind of threw Ricky off a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. But he definitely pulled through like a champion. You guys all from the Northwest there, man. You guys have this like grit about you. Is it in the water or what?
Yeah, I definitely don't think it's the water. It's probably more to have to do with our shitty weather. Don't get me wrong. It's beautiful like 3 days out of the year here. But for the most part, you know, it's cold. It's rainy. It's depressing. So, I mean.
It sounds a lot like Chicago.
Yeah, man. It's pretty depressing out here. So, I mean. The way we look at it is when we fight, it's like, fuck, we're going to die anyway, so who cares, you know?
Yes, sir.
That should be the slogan.
We all just have a bunch of self-hate. We all listen to Nirvana, and we have a bunch of self-hate, and we just walk in there and let it all hang out.
You can let it all hang out for sure, man. I can't wait to see what Bellator's got for you. Hopefully it's Dillon Danis, but if not, I'm going to be watching no matter what, man. The floor is yours if you want to shout out to your sponsors, anything you'd like.
Yeah, shout out to Ball Wash. They're great. My ball smells awesome. Just follow me on Twitter. I mean, the guy, you know, your co-host just said, you know, I'm one of his favorite people to follow.
Yes, he is funniest person on Twitter.
Well, there you go. So I feel like, you know, people should follow me.
Definitely
you follow me,
him.
I get more sponsors. I get more money. Then I can dress up like an idiot like Dillon. So
there you go. Well, I appreciate your time, Jake.
All right, guys. Thank you.